You need to make more mistakes. No, I'm not kidding. The right mistakes at the right time do a job that perfect playing can never do by itself. In fact, sometimes I force my students into mistakes because in the long run, it's going to make them more comfortable and confident. Now, I said the mistake needs to be at the right time, and that's really important. See, when we learn things, we generally go through 3 phases. I call them preview, practice, and polish. The preview phase is where you're first learning a new song or technique. You're just getting it under your fingers. The practice session is where the bulk of the work happens. That's where you speed things up and start to put everything together into larger pieces. And then the polish is really where you put on the finishing touches, just like it sounds. The kind of mistakes that we're talking about today, the good kind, are all in the preview section. This is where we're just getting used to a new piece or a new technique, and the job's a little bit different than what comes later. So when we make these good kind of mistakes, they tend to help us out in 3 different ways: experimentation, familiarization, and appreciation. Experimentation is really the main job that we're doing in the preview phase, and this is especially important if, say, you don't have a teacher to direct you with exactly how you should be doing something. In experimentation, our whole job is to see how many different ways we might get the job done. So if I have a particular line I need to play, or if I have a particular way I might need to play a chord or a strumming pattern that I'm figuring out, or if my fingers are playing through a new technique for the first time, I want to look at all the different ways that I could do it. And so this experimentation acts kind of like an accordion. If you've ever seen someone play an accordion, you first pull it out, and then you push it back in, and that's going to happen over and over. And really, our learning process is kind of like that. I was just teaching a lesson yesterday, and my student was having a hard time understanding the rhythm for the strumming pattern that we were using for this song. So the first thing that we did is tried getting to it in a couple different ways. What if we only do the downstrokes and then add the upstrokes? What if we do tons of down and upstrokes and then cut some out? What if we count it first, say things out loud? There's a lot of ways of getting to the final product. In the same way, if I'm playing a melody, there might be a handful of different places that I could play it on the guitar. And until I really experiment with all of those and try them out, I don't know which one is going to fit this particular song best. One of my friends was telling me about how he likes to learn jazz tunes, and he said that he's never comfortable with exactly how he's going to play it until he's played every chord and every melody part in every place of the neck. And then he can finally decide which one is going to be best. And this experimentation process kind of ebbs and flows like that accordion. We open the accordion, so to speak, and try new things, and then we find something that works, and we kind of double down on it, and we really hone in and try that thing, and then we try another option for the next part, and then we hone in again. Hey, by the way, if you want to learn more about the preview, practice, and polish phases, and how you can fit them into your practice, check out the free link to the 7-minute practice routine that I've got down in the description. It's a free PDF that'll walk you through everything that you need to know to have a more efficient practice and start getting things done. The mistakes you make by trying different things are really important because you're gaining a comparison. You start to understand, wow, this way is really easy, this way is a little bit harder. And you can even understand that somebody else might have a way that's easier for them. Maybe your left hand is stronger and your friend's right hand is stronger. And you guys might go about playing something differently to fit your own strengths. And as you're experimenting and learning these different ways to do the same thing, I think it's important to remember that you can have a whole practice where you're just experimenting, and that's okay. You don't need to make any strong progress. It's enough to sit down for an hour and try out a different fingering, try different hand positions, try different sitting positions, because you're going to learn something valuable. You're going to learn both what works and what doesn't work. And all those things are suited to the specific application you're looking at. And that's the second point, this familiarization. See, all these different things you've been experimenting with, they're tools. And a tool is only good if you know what it's used for. Another really important part of the preview phase of learning a song, learning a technique, whatever you're doing, is just getting your hands used to it, getting in the reps, playing it over and over, and making sure that you're comfortable playing it. It's very much like if you move to a new city and you have to learn how to drive on the streets. At first you might use Google Maps to get you from point A to point B, but eventually you're just going to kind of start exploring a little bit, and you make those connections. Oh, I didn't know this road led out here. Soon you start to see how everything connects, you learn that there are multiple ways to get from point A to point B, and you can start to learn the ones that are best for a specific situation. So as you experiment with different ways to play the same thing, start to ask yourself, which feels the most comfortable for me? It's okay if your answer is different from my answer. And it's important to remember that when something is brand new and you're just getting used to it, the goal isn't to play really fast, and I think it's not even at first to play perfectly every time. I mean, we don't want to build constant bad habits either, but just by trying something and failing at it, you get used to what is supposed to happen. And that's enough for the preview phase. Spending time familiarizing ourselves with the piece and with the different techniques we use also kind of helps us bank options for later. Have you ever had an experience where you're learning a craft and you kind of learn a new trick and then you just have to do that trick everywhere? Maybe you just got a new phone and you're going to use all the new features even if they don't actually fit into your daily routine. You're just going to force yourself to do that new thing just because you can do it. It might not be the right call right now, but there's still something in just spending time with that feature, with that option, so that someday down the line you'll say, you know what, that actually is the right call for this situation. And again, the same kind of thing happens when you try to do the same thing different ways in music. You're not going to use them all today, but you might use one of them tomorrow. But as you start to discover the things that really work, and maybe more importantly, the things that really don't work, and you start to close that accordion again, you're going to have the last benefit, which is appreciation. Have you ever had an experience where you learned something the hard way? You went through all the trouble, you figured out what not to do, you found the best practice, and then you went and told somebody else, hey man, do it this way and save yourself some trouble, and then you go and see them make the same mistakes over again, and you're like, why did I even bother telling you? See, something kind of important happens when you go and make those mistakes anyway. You gain an appreciation for best practice. I think a lot of times when we're just told the right answer to something right out, it kind of feels cheap. Or maybe sometimes it seems like that's an annoying way to do it, and it seems like there should be something that's easier. If you've ever had a child not listen to a parent's advice, you've experienced that. But I can sit here and tell you why your left hand should play with the minimal amount of pressure possible. I should sit here and tell you why you should pick or finger pick at the exact same angle every time and try to keep the movement as small as possible, and why you should hover your hand over the note that it's about to go to. And all of those are true and good things, and hopefully I explain to you well why they matter. But still, you're going to have the greatest value for that advice when you've done something else that didn't work and you're actually desperate for the real solution. By the way, I do want you to learn from my mistakes so that you don't have to repeat them. Teaching people how to practice and experience freedom on their instrument is my passion. And so I'd love for you to join me over on my Patreon, where I've got a lot more tips, tricks, and mindset shifts just like this. Plus, you can let me know what kind of things you're working on, and I'd love to be able to offer you some help. You can find a link down in the description. So don't get me wrong, I'm all about you learning to do something the right way, or one of the right ways. Sometimes there's more than one. But it's okay if you make a lot of mistakes as you go along the way. And especially if you're anything like me, sometimes you might get almost paralyzed by fear that you're going to do something wrong, and that stops you from trying it at all. Even if you fail, like, you're still making progress. You're learning the thing that didn't work, and you are going to really treasure the way that does work. Now you'll know that you're leaving the preview phase of your learning as you've started to develop a little bit of muscle memory. You're not playing things fast, but you are getting comfortable. Your hands have started to settle into doing things the same way every time, and you don't have to focus all of your attention on it immediately. That means you're moving into the practice phase. And the thing is, that's where mistakes start really being bad. In the practice phase, you need to be repeating the same good activity every single time. And that's why I made this video, which talks about the 3 strategies that I use to get rid of mistakes for good, so that I can start playing consistently and comfortably and start speeding things up. I'll see you there.